Chapter 6. So once I've finished the application process and my client is sitting there processing, not really processing, but you know what I mean, sitting there with a timer on, I'll take that opportunity to just go through with them and tell them how to look after their hair and what products they need to use and everything like that. So I have created a little how to look after your hair sheet. Now I might just include that like as a downloadable item for you as well, just so that you can see what I do. But I mean, you would obviously make your own. This one is kind of tailor-made for me. So the first thing that I will tell them is, any Vivid client, you only really want to be washing your hair once a week. Twice a week is like absolute maximum. And I'll just take this time to explain to them that these hair dyes work as a stain. They stain the hair, and each time you wash your hair, a layer of that stain is going to be removed. So they are aware that every time they wash their hair, it is going to change, and that's normal. It's just good to tell them this, because otherwise they might be expecting something else and they might think it's all gone ruined, and they just need to know that this is a normal part of this process and this is how they work. So cold water is your next thing. So dry shampoo is up the top, because you're only washing it once a week. Usually, you know, you'll get to day 4 and then you'll start feeling a bit oily. And so at that point, I will tell them start using the dry shampoo to try and push it out to the week if you can. Cold water is the next one. Cold water will just help to keep that cuticle shut and help keep those like colors in. They kind of sit around the cuticle, like not just on the outside, but kind of like in between as well. Not inside the hair, still on the outside, but yeah, you get the picture. So that means every time that cuticle opens and shuts with, you know, aka hot water, the color is going to run out faster. So very important that they follow that once a week, washing in cold water, like only, do not do hot. And the next thing that I suggest is quite an extreme technique. It's not going to suit everyone, but if you can do it, you should. It's called co-shampooing, and it's actually a curly girl method. And the idea behind co-shampooing, if you don't know what that is, sorry, I'll just explain. It's using conditioner instead of shampoo to actually wash your hair. And so the idea behind this is, instead of opening the cuticle like a shampoo does, look at my hands. So instead of opening the cuticle like a shampoo does, you are just cleaning the dirt and grease on the outside of the hair without actually opening the cuticle. You would be surprised how well this actually works. I did not believe it until I tried it myself one day. So I highly recommend that you actually try this yourself, so that you can have that first-hand knowledge to explain that to your client, like in your own way. Because it's very different to using shampoo. You have to use a lot more product, and you have to like manually really rub and scrub your scalp, because you don't have that lather, you don't have those bubbles. So you have to put in like twice as much effort with the rubbing and scrubbing. You have to use about twice as much product, and you have to rinse it out about twice as thoroughly. This may not suit someone who's got fine hair or someone who's got a scalp condition. But I just like to explain this to them and just kind of give it to them as an option. You are going to get a bit of build up on your scalp long term doing this. Yes, that is just going to happen. I mean, I might go, say, do 2 co-shampoos, then 1 shampoo, or 3 in 1, or something like that. But the more you can do this, the longer your color is going to last you. And what you'll end up with is a second day feel. So, you know, when you wash your hair and it's all fluffy that first day, and then the second day it calms down, that's the result that a co-shampoo is going to give you. So all of this, you really do need to explain this to your client, like in depth. And that is why I like to give them this, because I know that I tend to bombard people, but this information is important, and this is what will keep your client from coming back and saying, oh, Cherie, my color's all faded. You know what I mean? So you're giving this to them to help them, and also just to kind of keep yourself safe, so that they know they've been told all the rules, and if anything should happen, you've done your job by telling them. Anyone who has had bleached hair, I will generally recommend a treatment for them. So this is, when you're doing this, this is the point where you want to be selling your retail. And don't like don't feel like you're selling. You're not really selling. What you're doing right now is helping your client to best look after their color. So don't feel bad. Like, it's not like you're just shoving products in front of them and just, here, buy this. Like, I'm sitting down with them, I'm spending 10 minutes talking them through each step, telling them how to do it, how to look after their hair. And by the end of that, they want to buy the products off you because you've spent that time explaining it to them. So don't feel bad. Like, it's a good thing. You're helping them. Try and change your mindset from I'm selling products to I'm helping to take care of my client. Generally, I'll recommend Olaplex because that's my own personal favorite hair care system is Olaplex, and of course I'll tell them how to use that because Olaplex it's a little bit different to other products. But any treatment, I will usually just say, hey, look, swap out your conditioner, use treatment instead. So replace your shampoo with conditioner, replace your conditioner with treatment. And they really appreciate that. And like, everyone's in a rush. No one really has the time to get out of the shower, leave the treatment on for 20 minutes. Like, we're all in a rush. Everyone's got busy lives. So you're, providing them with a solution to a problem. They love that. So yeah, use the treatment instead of the conditioner. Even if you're only leaving it on for 2 minutes, you're still going to get a better result because your treatment is going to be that much more of a concentrated product than conditioner. You want to tell them to just towel dry their hair before they put it in. All of these little things, and I have got that wrote down here because you'd be surprised how many people just don't know the simplest little things. And I explain it to them in a way like, if you're paying $40 for a good quality treatment and your hair is full of water when you put it on, you're just wasting your money. And they appreciate knowing things like that. And it's just something so simple that everyone seems to forget about. So load them up with knowledge, send them home with one of these, and sell them some retail. One more thing that I have got listed on this sheet of paper is things to avoid. This is really good, especially if your Vivid client is new and they've never had Vivids before. So I will just tell them things like things to avoid. See down here, and that is excessively washing your hair, hot water, chlorine, pools and going in the ocean, overuse of hot tools and straighteners, excessive direct sunlight, cheap, nasty products, and anti-dandruff shampoos are especially stripping. And also I just make them aware of white linen because these colors are a stain. They stain the hair, therefore if they can actually transfer. So if you've got someone with really long hair and they've had a really vivid color done and they wear a white shirt, a lot of the time what can happen is the hair can actually rub off on the shirt. So just make them aware of these things. They appreciate it. And now I think it's time we washed off that color. So let's go and have a look at what we've got. So the way that I'm going to do this is very awkwardly and one-handedly. You're going to use cold water to rinse this out. If it is absolutely freezing, like it's winter, I might add a little bit of warm water in there just to kind of break the ice, but it has to be like no warmer than room temperature for this color to not bleed, especially when you're working with rainbow colors like this. You especially don't want those colors to blend, otherwise all this hard work that we've just done has been, to waste. So cold water, I will rinse very, very thoroughly. I will rinse it until I think it's out, and then I'll give it a bit of a scrub and see if anything bubbles. And usually I'll do that twice. So really, really thoroughly gonna rinse this. No shampoo generally. And maybe a treatment if the hair is still feeling like absolutely trashed, but most of the time I just rinse, that's all I do. So let's get into it. Depending on your base colour, you may want to wash the base colour off first. I'll just turn it on. Shh, Shelby, shh, quiet, Mummy needs to talk. So like for example, if I had a really vivid bright purple colour or a bright blue colour, or anything that you are worried about that might bleed, wash that off first and separately before you go for these rainbow colours. Because we just done a pastel pink, I'm not worried at all about that bleeding, so I'm just going to take this all off at the same time. But if you're even a little bit worried, do this first and then take them off last. So at this point, when I think it's all washed out and out of the hair, I'll go in and give it a scrub. And this is like essentially like a co-shampoo. This is what a co-shampoo will feel like. You will see how that's bubbling. So yeah, if it's bubbling like that, then you know you need to go back in and give it another rinse. So we will just do that now. And I might repeat that process twice just to be really sure that I'm not going to leave my client greasy. You can see them in there. Now, a little tip I just want to share with you is when you get your client out from the basin and their scalp looks like this, bear in mind this is a mannequin and it's not going to work, but my little trick to remove the colour off the scalp is just get a towel, a dry towel preferably because it's a bit more rubby, and just go through the part on the scalp and just rub like this, and you will be amazed at how much colour you can get off with just a dry towel. Doesn't work that way for the skin because the skin, you know, absorbs more because pores, but for the scalp, just take it off and just pay attention to the part, mainly for your after photo, because I bend the client's back a lot and I get that photo of like, I want to see where it fades from the roots. You will actually see colour on the scalp and I just think it looks a bit yuck. So just take that time, even if it's just through the part where you're going to see, and just try and get that colour off if you can, because your after photo is going to look so much better. I am starting to lose light because it is getting darker now, but see if I can just show you our little rainbow piece there. There it is. It's all in there. Doesn't look like much now, but once we blow dry it, I'm sure it will.